Deep down in the Underhive is the Sump Sea, and there's a well-known fishmonger named Tolliver who lives there. He has hired a newly formed outcast gang to protect his boats from vandals. But who are these vandals, and can this outcast gang stop them? Find out this time on JD in the Sump Sea. Welcome to the channel, my name's Jay, and today's video is a battle report of our Game 3 of our Necromunda RPG campaign series. Mike, our Arbitrator, started off the evening by telling us that there were some hive dwellers who showed up and offered their services since we now had a settlement. He then presented us with a series of cards and miniatures representing these hangers-on. We were then allowed to hire one of these hangers-on and add them to our crew. Another thing happened that night. Our friend Jake showed up and he wanted to get in on the action. He brought along a pretty menacing looking cowboy miniature missing part of one of his arms, and he called him One Hand Henry. Since this was Jake's first game, he didn't have any money or any reputation, so he wasn't able to hire a hanger-on. The last 2 weeks, our little ragtag group of outcasts consisted of Dee's character, Father Athene, a Caudor Redemptionist. Ben's character was an Orlok champion named Iron Stare Swibs, and I had an Escher specialist named Lectra Daggershard. I finally finished painting her, and I made a short video showing how I did it. But this week, we would add Jake, and his character, One Hand Henry. For hangers-on, Dee hired a rogue doc named Dr. Chopsky, who had a giant axe. Ben hired an exotic beast, Rad Rufus, a chain-smoking, sunglass-wearing, totally cool canine. And I hired Victor Stump, a hive scummer who had a penchant for long-range shooting. So if you like this kind of content and you want to see more totally rad Necromunda battle reports, then make sure you pull out your Warhammer, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and hit the all bell so that you don't miss any notifications when new videos of ours come out. And now on to the battle report.
For Tolliver the Fishmonger, Event 1 is the damn Vandals. Tolliver is a man of the people and a man of the sump. Tolliver is always looking for good help. Feeding the masses the freshest sump trout is hard work. The recent commotion in the hive has caused ripples even out here in the sump. His fishing lanes usually remain unmolested, as everyone knows not to cross paths with the former corpse grinder. It would be insane to do such a thing. Recently, somebody's been sabotaging his nets and even a few of his boats. He would like you to find out who's been doing this and bring him some body parts as fish bait. So the scenario is you guys are going to be patrolling Tolliver's docks and keep an eye out for anything suspicious. The objective is going to be to defend his boats that he's got in dock. He's got 4 boats in dock. Those are all toughness 4, 3 wounds apiece. If you can keep those boats afloat, there will be extra credits for that. And if you can capture any of these vandals and bring them to Tolliver for questioning, he's going to give you some extra money for that.
The vandals can be captured by seriously wounding them and then choosing to capture them instead of coup de grace them.
You guys are going to deploy on the docks, on this far side here. And then they are going to be coming in from the opposite side. You got boat 1, boat 2, boat 3. There's another boat right there.
Ben deployed on the left flank, Rad Rufus, and then Iron Stare Swibs. Inside the container, Jake deployed One Hand Henry. I deployed Lectra right near a dock, and Victor Stump up on a raised platform. Dee then deployed Father Athene and Dr. Chopsky in the ruins of an old building on the far right flank. The vandals, who turned out to be pirates, are then deployed on the opposite side of the table, spread out from one side to the other, just like our characters were. Turn 1 begins with Ben moving Rad Rufus and then Swibs through an empty storage container along the edge of the board towards the pirates. One of the pirates then goes and crosses a bridge to get closer to us. One Hand Henry moves through the storage container he started in from one side to the other. A pirate then moves over a precarious bridge that leads to a pile of junk in the center of the board. A pirate in the corner moves up to a bridge and then gets closer to Rad Rufus on the left flank. And another pirate follows the previous one and gets close to the bridge. Another pirate on the opposite side of the board crosses a bridge and gets closer to Tolliver's bait shop. It's Father Athene's turn, and Dee moves him onto a bridge, lines up a shot, and shoots with his auto pistol.
He is going to hit him 3 times. No AP on that?
Right.
Goes through.
He hits once, and a flesh wound is caused to the pirate, who is then also pinned. Yet another pirate then advances over a centrally located bridge to get closer to Tollivers' bait shop also.
Alright, she's gonna aim and fire at this guy.
Lectra then fires at a pirate, hits, runs out of ammo, but then also wounds and takes a pirate out of action. I then line up a shot for Victor and his long las. He fires, hits and wounds, and causes a serious wound.
Steve's going to hop right over here. Steve is going to huck an incendiary grenade at that boat. It's going to land right on the dock.
And it does nothing. Turn 2 begins with some aggressive moves by the pirates. The pirate moves onto the bridge and shoots at Swib's new exotic beast, Rad Rufus. He hits, wounds, and causes a flesh wound, which also pins the cool dog. The pirate known as Big Bob then moves around Tollivers and hucks an incendiary grenade at one of the boats. He misses, but it barely scatters, still hitting the boat.
4 will not do it.
Nope.
Is the boat on fire?
Let's find out.
The boat is on fire.
Boat's on fire.
One-Hand Henry takes Swib's path and ducks into an empty storage container.
Long as a Big Bob, we are again at short range. We're gonna aim and fire, so we're gonna have threes.
On dots.
That'll hit.
I line up a shot with Victor, hit and wound. Big Bob saves it, but is still pinned. I then move Lectra onto the dock to check the yellow loot crate.
She's gonna head down here. She's gonna try and search that crate then. Roll the 1.
It exploded. It's a frag trap.
Unfortunately, I roll a 1. Lectra is hit, but luckily doesn't get wounded and survives the rigged loot crate trap.
Dirt Farmer's going to move up 5. And he's going to start popping shots off at that boat. Hits 3 times.
The Dirt Farmer successfully damages the boat. The pirate around the side of Tollivers stands up and shoots at Father Athene. His shot goes wide, and he misses. Iron Stare Swibs then moves on to the bridge to close the gap with the pirate who shot his favorite dog. Rad Rufus stands up and moves next to Swibs. Swibs lines up the shot, fires his shotgun at the Dirt Farmer.
Alright, so, zap, ugh! Just knocked him right off into that pile of trash.
The knockback knocking him into the garbage. The other pirate near Tollivers' shack moves forward and tries to shoot the boat near Lectra, but misses. Dr. Chopsky then starts moving towards the boat that's on fire.
Doc Chopsky's gonna get on the boat and put that fire out.
He fails to put it out.
And declare a charge.
Father Athene then charges the pirate. He hits twice, then rolls to wound. He wounds twice, and the pirate fails his saves. Dee then rolls an out-of-action result, and he then captures the pirate instead of coup de grace-ing him. Mike then moves another pirate forward, getting in range with his gun.
There you go. He's going to shoot at that boat. Combat shotgun with a salvo. Hit him on 3s.
He hits, he wounds, and he sinks the boat.
Boat is sunk.
Mike then moves another pirate onto the junk pile and shoots at a different boat.
He will miss that boat.
In the end phase, Dr. Chopsky successfully puts out the fire on the other boat, and the turn is over. Mike starts turn 3 by rolling for his reserves. 3 of the 5 pirates in reserve arrive. The 3 pirates are then deployed near the back board edge. Since we are in the Sump, we have to be flexible with our deployment. The guy coming in from reserve with the huge mace advances onto a bridge, moving towards Tollivers. One of the pirates then shoots at Swibs, and Ben breathes a sigh of relief when he doesn't wound. I then open fire with Victor's long las onto the pirate Stabs, who just made it out onto the junk pile.
Nope.
Flesh wound.
I hit and wound and cause a flesh wound. Lectra moves off of the dock back onto more solid ground.
He's gonna try to jump that.
Stabs passes that.
Stabs passed his initiative test and jumps over the sump onto the dock. One-Hand Henry then moves forward past Swibs, getting closer to the pirates. He then fires at the closest pirate, hitting, wounding, and causing a serious injury. Mike then shoots one of his pirates at Father Athene, but only manages to pin him.
I rolled a 3. Will not do anything, so you're just pinned.
A pirate climbs up to the second level of the tower. The seriously wounded pirate then tries to crawl to safety. Dr. Chopsky moves back to solid ground and searches a loot crate.
A D6.
6! You found 2 medikits.
He rolls a 6 and finds 2 medikits, perfect for a doctor. Father Athene continues moving over precarious platforms. Ben activates Rad Rufus and sends him over to the seriously wounded pirate and captures him.
Alright, let's capture.
Ben then moves Swibs into the Sumpy's storage container shop. Ben fires Swibs at the pirate on the gangway and hits him, knocking him off. Mike then activates the pirate and stands him up. Big Bob is then activated and continues moving around Tollivers. Another pirate then activates and tries to get closer to the action, and that's the end of round 3. Stabs charges Rad Rufus and misses. Rad Rufus misses his attacks back also. The pirate who had fallen then climbs up the pile of garbage he fell into and gets closer to Swibs and Rufus. D then charges Father Athene into a pirate, hits once,
So, nope, doesn't save it.
then causes a flesh wound. The pirate fights back.
Misses.
Mike shoots a pirate into the combat.
Oh, you know what? He's just gonna take an aim shot and shoot into that combat.
Nope.
Hit. Toughness. I need 5 to wound you. No.
Mike moves Big Bob again and shoots at the boat.
So, 2 wounds on the boat.
Ben then fires Swibs at the pirate who just made his way back after falling from the gangway,
Or
Nope.
and he then gets knocked back and falls into the sump. Rad Rufus attacks the pirate and causes a serious injury. Mike fires a pirate at One-Hand Henry,
3.
We fell in.
he then falls into the sump.
2 hits.
2 hits, alright. Toughness 2.
1.
Father Athene then hits twice and wounds once, and then causes a serious injury. A different pirate charges Father Athene. He rolls to hit.
Hits with one of them on a 6. 4s, 3s. 6 will do it.
At this point, we all find out that Father Athene has no armor, just a refractor field. He fails that save and takes a wound. Father Athene attacks back and does a flesh wound only. Another pirate climbs up the tower to try and get closer to that combat. Victor lines up a shot on Big Bob with his long las and fires and hits, but doesn't wound, just pins Big Bob. I then move Lectra closer to Victor. One-Hand Henry is then able to climb out of the sump unharmed, and that's the end of turn 4. The pirate who had taken a serious injury from Father Athene in close combat recovers by rolling a flesh wound result in the end step. Mike then stands him up and attacks the father, doing nothing. D attacks back and is ineffective.
I'm going to play a card
Yeah, you guys have to
called
have your-
Faithful and Resolved. A universal article of faith. No faith dice are rolled, and the threshold test is
Great.
automatically passed. While this article of faith is in effect, this fighter may re-roll any failed wound rolls made by using a chain weapon.
It's then Father Athene's turn, and D plays a tactics card. D rolls his attacks, re-rolling failed hits, then eventually does a flesh wound, and also an out-of-action result with his pistol. Dr. Chopsky climbs up the ramp and shoots at Big Bob.
He misses.
Horribly.
Mike fires a pirate at Swibs and misses.
So he's fine there.
Another pirate charges Father Athene. They just don't learn.
Sneed and fours. Pistol hits once, and that's it. Pistol does not wound. Every game, this ends with this corpses piled around Dale.
I know, right? Every game.
They all charge him. They fight him a bunch. They don't do anything. Parry.
Athene does 2 flesh wounds to the pirate who charged him. The pirate who fell in the sump climbs back out and onto the dock. Big Bob stands up and turns to face Chopsky.
He's gonna shoot him with a shotgun.
And he misses. The pirate with the huge mace then moves twice to get closer to Big Bob. One Hand Henry moves up near Rad Rufus and shoots at the pirate who just got out of the sump. He hits him, knocks him back, and he falls back into the sump again. Swibs exits Sumpies and moves closer to the pirate on the gangway. Swibs fires and knocks the pirate back off the gangway and causes 2 serious injuries.
So 2 seriously, so that's a flesh and serious. Just blasting people with shotguns all over this board.
Shotguns are the best weapon.
They are just knocking people back.
Rad Rufus then coup de grace the serious pirate who is at his feet and runs up the gangway. I move Lectra closer to Big Bob and take a shot with an auto pistol. Hits and pins him.
Okay, so we're going to shoot him with the long lass from here. That's a miss, so nothing.
And that ends turn 5.
Just a flesh.
A flash and a serious.
Yeah, so he's just faced. So he's pretty much gonna just go
Sink into the
Crap.
Turn 6 starts with Ben moving Swibs and Rad Rufus up the gangway onto the platform. One Hand Henry moves onto the dock. He wants to make sure that the face-down pirate won't be swimming out of the sump ever again. Big Bob stands up and shoots at Dr. Chopsky, but misses. But then the pirate in close combat with Father Athene attacks, hits and wounds, but the Father's refractor field saves against it. He attacks back and rolls 2 hits and 2 wounds, then rolls a skull, taking the pirate out of action. The pirate with the huge mace moves forward and shoots at a boat.
I'm gonna try to sink another boat. Their main mission has been to kill boat.
Yeah.
Does not kill boat.
Mike becomes an arbiter and all of a sudden he's remembering the objective.
Father Athene attacks the last pirate and hits 3 times, wounds 3 times, and
skull.
Kill him every
Skull.
looting the 3 corpses, D rolls a 6, a 3, and a 2. He gets a chainsword and a total of 25 credits. Dr. Chopsky then charges Big Bob. He hits once and
Wounds. Dead. That's a skull.
Big Bob is taken out of action. Victor Stump then aims and fires at the pirate with a huge mace and misses. I then move Lectra up the ramp to get into charge range for next turn, but Mike called it there.
Well, I think I'm going to call it there. All right, end of game rewards. Every ganger or every person who participated gets their 1 rep. You each get, an extra experience for everybody that was there. And then the gang itself gets D6 times 10 credit for each boat still afloat.
3 of them, right?
Yep.
It's 8. That's 100 credits.
For each guy you captured and gave to him, the gang will get another D6 times 10 credits.
So that's 3 of those too, right?
Yep.
When did you,
That's another 130 credits.
You guys are going to get to take 1 piece of gear for the gang stash off each of these cards the guys you captured.
Cool.
Tolliver's a little sad about his one boat sinking. Because you captured Pirate Steve, Tolliver is very happy. He's the leader in a group, so Tolliver's like, oh, I'm going to get some shit out of this guy. So what's going to end up happening is now, so Tolliver, he's going to question this guy here this week. And he says, come on back next week. I should have some missions for you.
And Tolliver sure did have a mission for us, but that's for next time. This has been quite the campaign, and I've got one more battle report that I'm going to be posting up soon. So, as always, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.